damage. Well, it looked like he was holding on to the middle ground. However, these warp-ins coming in and really saving Konsumat's expansion in the middle. I still think Konsumat needs to put a defensive structure around this middle so he can control it a little bit better. You can see that Mort, having the economic advantage, is really in the economic game. Ends up having the advantage. But you can see here that Mort, drawing a nice little draw with 2 Excelsiors and an Ambassador, is going to do a little bit of base raiding over here on the left side. And this will be an interesting bit. I don't know if Mort knows where the fleet is, his opponent's fleet. He is going to go ram right up the middle, going to find that this expansion is still unguarded, and he's going to very easily take that out. The question is, what does Konsumat do? He can come in off on the side and potentially he's going to find this constructor, and that's going to tip off Mort where the fleet is. So Mort brings in his Ambassador, and which is a short range along with these other ships, giving them equal speeds. Nice way to group them up together. Is going to be able to take out this expansion. At the same time, these long range vessels are going to be able to pressure the main dilithium moon here on Konsumat, and that's going to be a little bit of pressure on Konsumat. However, Konsumat is going to go after this phaser platform. That's going to be a little bit of damage because he's going to be tied up there. He probably should have ditched. Well, actually, in response to what Mort is doing, Mort has actually moved away his mining freighters. So, yeah, it's a trap. And so here comes the Mort's fleet just trouncing in on Konsumat's fleet. Though it's not really much of a trounce. Konsumat retreating to the nebula. This is bloody here. Ships are about to go down, though not a lot of them. So ends up as Nebula Wars. Both fleets retreating to the nebula. And you can see that the ship's going down, and it's really hard to keep up. Which one is going down faster? That's Konsumat's ships right there. You can see him losing one. Here's Mort's ship actually taking a lot of fire. I wasn't sure who that one was. This ship's going to go down really shortly. You can actually see this is Konsumat. Oh, actually, this is probably a little bit of bad on Konsumat's part. I don't think he's focusing fire nearly as much, and Mort is. And so either that or it's just the ship makeup, and the focus fire ends up working in his favor. But Mort is going to end up with the greater victory here. And at that, you can see that Konsumat is losing basically all of his fleet. At this point in time, I would say that Konsumat needing to somehow get out of here. He needs to split these ships. He's going to run it back to the nebula, give himself a little bit of extra shield repair. He's going to end up taking this one ship. Mort giving chase. A little bit of miss micro on it, but you can see how fast these shields go up. But against this nasty fleet here, ends up Mort's victory. Wow, not very many ships lost by Mort. So excellent play here, and this is actually probably going to be Mort pressuring again, but we'll see here if this is actually this is probably Konsumat here, and it is Konsumat pulling in his warp-ins, giving his Akiras, and so you can see that Akiras are on the board, so pressuring a little bit. So we can see that Mort about to warp in too, so he's probably going to support this main fleet here. Trying to take out, but these guys are going to take refuge in this, I believe this is the Chrysalid nebula, and that's going to give them a little bit of proxy repair. However, this 5 fleet here is not going to be enough, and here's Mort's ships. Oh, wow, that's a nice little draw there. 2 ambassadors, a little bit of nebula battle here as well. That is actually going to be in the favor of the one with the greater numbers here, but this is going to be Konsumat winning this battle. However, Konsumat is going to end up losing his main Tritanium med mining because of this massive Intrepid Monsoon battle here, and he is going to end up losing this entire part. He's going to lose his freighters, and he's going to lose his mining, and he's possibly got his Starfleet Science and his Starfleet Command in a bind here. So you can see that he is Konsumat is feeling a little bit of pressure here, and actually these ambassadors here pushing back the Steamrunner, which is really feeling the pinch. At the same time, these Intrepids and Monsoons sitting out here on the side of the base, going to push a little bit on the Starfleet Science. Nonetheless, it's not really that much of a loss if he does that. You can see that that Konsumat losing a ship there. These ambassadors are nasty little buggers on the patch 311, as they are fast and are durable. You can see over here that Mort has again found Konsumat's expansion and is going right after it, not letting Konsumat get any like economic advantage. At the same time, Mort, with his very well defended expansion over here, feeling no pressure on it. So quite nice. These defensive platforms have ended up playing and benefiting Mort very well. So you can see that Konsumat trying to decommission this, but these Monsoons and Intrepids are going to make short work of it, get a little experience, rank up a couple of ships perhaps, and this fleet is gaining experience and gaining steam. And you can see that Mort is actually going to go take over this expansion immediately, bringing back his ambassador classes towards the middle, giving them a little bit of cover with the remaining fleet. You can see here that Konsumat trying to out-tech with these Akiras, and you can see that they have actually been upgraded with their defense pattern. There's not enough of them, however, to deal with this massive fleet here. And these guys have got a lot of numbers, and that is going to end up working in Mort's favor. And you can see here that the Starfleet Command is about to, in about 10 seconds, going to give Konsumat another set of warp-in fleets. So if he gets lucky, he'll get a pair of ambassadors or a galaxy, and that will help his fleet numbers. So now a little bit of breathing room for both teams, and we can see here that he's got a pair of Steamrunners and an ambassador. Now, Steamrunners are wonderful if you end up base raiding on a structure, but they're extremely slow and so very fragile. But he did get an ambassador to give himself a little bit of additional firepower. And you can see that both players kind of taking stock of the situation. This massive fleet here of about 20 vessels, just shy of 20 vessels, is not a good base not a base raider as far as star bases are concerned. But you can see that Konsumat feeling the economic pinch here as his Akiris are not producing, and he's kind of drawn up in a defensive position around his main base. So this is going to give Mort the advantage. He's going to be able to take over the middle ground, but Konsumat actually taking out his fleet somehow, just hoping, I guess, to find something in the middle that's undefended, and he's actually going to find it. However, this small fleet here, this fleet of 20 some odd fast short-range vessels are going to run through, and they're going to find Konsumat's lone constructor sitting in this nebula, and they're actually going to have to go around this entire wall of asteroids. Konsumat going to be tipped off to the presence of Mort's fleet, by the destruction of his constructor are going to end up, I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to try to take out this ambassador. It is a lone ambassador, and it is going to be taken out. However, Mort coming around with this lovely little fleet of short-range vessels could easily wall off or just make an attack on his main dilithium